On this episode of Team Pilipinas.
Kaya ko lahat ng hirap sa training, lahat ng yun yung ginagawa ko na motivation na pagbalik ko doon, dala ko yung ginto, kasama ko yung papa ko.
We talked to the Philippine Sports Commission about the challenges of going to the Tokyo Olympics, the Hanoi Sea Games, and beyond, and also tackled some serious issues. Olympic silver medalist Hidilyn Diaz has one last major competition before heading to Tokyo. And we recall the days of glory of one of the greatest Filipino athletes of all time, Asia's first chess Grandmaster, Eugene Torre. All this and more on the first episode of Team Pilipinas. Welcome to Team Pilipinas, a weekly showcase of the greatest athletes representing the Philippines in international competition. I'm Boy at Cesar.
Hello, my name is Dennis Principe and this is Team Pilipinas. We've got 4 Olympic qualifiers in the sport of boxing in the upcoming 2021 Tokyo Olympics, and one of them, makakasama natin for today's episode, Eumir Felix Marcial. Kumusta ba ang kondisyon mo kung ang pag-uusapan natin ay yung ginagawa nating paghahanda para sa darating na Tokyo Olympics?
Handa po ako, maintain tuloy-tuloy po yung training ko. After nung dumating ako dito, then after ng laban ko, nagpahinga lang ako nung holidays, nung Christmas or New Year's. Tsaka sa mga kasparing ko dito, sir, sobrang laking tulong talaga na dagdag kaalaman sa akin, no, at mga natutunan ko sa wildcard boxing gym, kay Coach Freddy, kay Marvin Somojo, kay Pepe Rayleigh, at ganun din po dito sa kasamahan ko dito sa bahay, sir, sina Coach Joven Jimenez and Jerwin Angkas, tsaka Jonas Sultan.
Masasabi mo ba na up to now, tama yung desisyon mo? Nagkulang, may pinagsisiyan ka kahit paano, na gusto mo pang bawiin? O overall, paano mo masasabi kung i-assess natin yung naging desisyon mo to turn pro, magpunta ng US, lumaban ng professional, at mag-train kasama yung mga trainers na mas kilala sa pro boxing?
Nung nandyan ako sa Pilipinas, ang tagal ko po na standby sa bahay, na wala akong training, wala akong nakasama na coach doon. So nung nandun ako sa Pilipinas, sabi ko, ito yung malaking tulong talaga to sa akin na nag-pro ako, dahil una na iba-iba po yung mga kasparing ko at talagang hindi mga ordinaryong boxing, talagang mga world title contender, mga nag-world champion na. Alam ko sa sarili ko ngayon na mas nadagdagan po yung kaalaman ko, yung experience ko, at nilalagay ko sa isip ko ngayon na kahit this month yung Olympics, kahit next month yung Olympic, talagang handa-handa po ako, sir.
Ngayon, sa Thailand, yung ating national team, mukhang noong una, sabi, baka makahabol ka, pero apparently mukhang hindi na, baka sa India. Tingin mo malaking kakulungan sa iyo na hindi ka nakasama sa Thailand dun sa ating national team?
Nag-meeting naman po kami ng mga coaches, ng mga ABAP official, na nag-suggest ako sa kanila na dito na lang ako mag-training. Kasi wala talaga, sir, lalo po sa timbang ko, wala nang lugar na maganda talaga mag-training para sa akin, hindi dito sa US. Kasi una yung sparring. Yung sparring, kahit everyday po ako maghanap ng ka-sparring na sa katimbang ko, at iba-ibang style, na makakalaban ko sa Olympics, makakahanap ako dito, sir. So kaya sabi ko, dito na lang ako mag-training, hanggang pagtapos nila mag-training doon sa Thailand.
Pupunta ng India yung national team. Ang plano ata is ikaw sumunod doon. Tingin mo doon sa may wala sa Thailand na yung gusto mo makailangan ng sparring partners, tingin mo sa India makukuha mo yun kung susunod ka ron?
Yes, opo sir, kasi doon sa India, Asian Championship, I think Asian Championship or pre-Olympics yung tournament na yon. So malaking bagay po yun sir no, na sumali po ako doon para maka-adapt na po ulit ako sa Olympic style, tulad ng everyday maglalaban or ilang laban sa isang linggo. So maganda yun sir doon na kumbaga magandang exposure yun kasi malamang yung mga pupunta doon, yung mga pupunta din sa Olympics, yung mga nag-qualify din. So ayun, at maganda na din yun para makita ko po yung kung ano yung mga natutunan ko dito, kung effective ba pagdating sa Olympics. So kasi may time pa naman po sir kung hindi magiging effective yung mga natutunan ko dito or hindi ako na-improve dito. So may time pa naman na June, July para mag-focus doon sa training kasama yung team.
Karamihan, puro success yung nakamit mo, no? Junior Championships, Southeast Asian Games, Asian Games, while hindi gold, masabi na rin natin na impressive. World Championship, nag-silver ka. Ito, nag-qualify ka ng Olympics. Yung ba, kung pagsamasamahin mo lahat yun, as compared dun sa 2016 na naunsyami because of an injury, yung pagpasok mo ng Olympics, sana, no? Can we say na yung experience mo na yun ng 2016 ay sapat na para makadagdag ng malaking motivation dito sa pagpasok natin sa Tokyo Olympics?
Opo sir, after kasi nung 2016, sabi ko ilang taon na ako, I think 21 na ako nung time na yun. Because ito na yung chance ko talaga na para mag-qualify. Kasi iniisip ko kasi matanda na yung tatay ko sir eh. Yung pangarap ko na talaga ito na ma-qualify sa Olympics at makuha yung gold. Pangarap po to nung tatay ko nung nagsimula pa lang kami na mag-boxing. Kaya sabi ko habang buhay pa siya, habang nandito pa siya, habang malakas pa siya, gagawin ko po yung lahat na para po makuha ko yung gold. Kumbaga yun po yung regalo ko para sa kanya. At lalo na ngayon sir na nawala yung kapatid ko, kumbaga isa na din po yung naging motivation ko na lalo kong pagkasikapan na makuha yung gold. Kasi yun po yung yung gusto ko na pag uwi ko, pag after ng Olympic, pupunta ako doon sa puntot niya. Kasama ko yung papa ko na kahit mahirap yung sitwasyon natin, malayo sa pamilya, talagang gusto ko na makita yung magulang ko, gusto ko makita yung mga kapatid ko kahit yun kumbaga iniisip ko na lang to sir na yung ginagawa ko na to para sa kanila. Pag after nito, talagang wala akong pagsisihan sir. Sobrang hirap talaga sir, sobrang hirap talaga yung sitwasyon na alam niyo yun, namatay yung kapatid ko na hindi ko man nakita. Na alam niyo, simula pagkabata ko, yun na yung naggagabay sa akin. Sa mga laban ko, yun sumasama sa mga laban ko nung sa probinsya pa ako. Tapos ngayon, pupunta ako dito sa US at pagbalik ko, wala na. Kumbaga, ganun na. Yun po yung ginagawa ko na lang po yun na motivation yun sir na para lalo ko kaya ko lahat ng hirap sa training, lahat ng yun yung ginagawa ko na motivation na pagbalik ko doon, dala ko yung ginto, kasama ko yung papa ko. At I think, kumbaga, yung ginto na yun, isa din siguro yun na para way na para matulungan ko yung naiwan niyang anak. 6 po yung naiwan niyang anak. So, alam niyo yun po yung nagbibigay ng lakas. Kaya, I think itong Olympics, itong 2021 na Olympics, kasama po sa mga na-experience ko, kasama po sa lahat ng mga achievements ko, SEA Games, Asian Games, World Championship at itong Olympic qualifying na nag-gold po ako, talagang sobra-sobra po yung experience ko at syempre yung dedication ko, sir, at yung gusto ko talaga makuha yung gold, nandun po.
Eumir, Felix, Marcial, Olympian, maraming salamat sa iyo and good luck.
Thank you so much, sir.
Again, my name is Dennis Principe and this is Team Pilipinas.
How challenging has it been for the PSC to function given the pandemic situation?
It was not easy. If we have to look back, nung pumutok itong COVID before January, February, I was already watching the development of foreign televisions. And that prior to the national lockdown, the PSC have made already a lockdown that we made an advisory to all our athletes to go home. And we were lucky then we closed all the sports facilities of PSC. As a matter of fact, we volunteered the 3 sports facilities like Ninoy Aquino Gym, Rizal Memorial Gym, and the PhilSport Ultra for COVID isolation facilities. So that's what happened. It was difficult, and I reminded myself of my important principles learned from the Jesuit school, was to be alert in the environment and to be alert on the environment and to be proactive. So that's what we did, and we reboot everything. We organized our MSAS, our medical support services, and many others. Coordination with Sports Association, the Olympic Committee.
Anong tumagal na, Chairman, yung situation, no, and everything was closed down, did it ever come to a point that you considered no longer continuing the support for the athletes, considering the PAGCOR was also struggling at the time?
Simple lang ang pananaw ko, Bill. If we have the money, we will support them. If we don't have the money, we can stop them and find ways. So simply lang, because I felt strongly and understand the role of the Philippine Sports Commission, our fundamental support to the athletes. No? Although by law we are not required, but they are our stakeholders, and if we have the money, we will not hesitate to support. So that's what happened when the pandemic came around. The remittance of PAGCOR, which was the source of our National Sports Development Fund, whose fund should focus on 2 things, for the grassroots and the elite. So, tinabi muna namin yung grassroots, we focus on the elite athletes. So, dumating ang panahon na kukulangin talaga kami. So, we did some cut on the allowances, but we were thankful that the Congress have given us to give them exact amount that they were supposed to receive for the whole year.
Some countries and some athletes are reluctant about going to the Olympics. What's the plan for Tokyo?
Our plan for Tokyo was on focus in the midst of many problems that Japanese people, more than 50%, are not favorable of having Olympics and visitors, and other countries are reluctant. So we look at that. But in spite of that, we feel that the Philippines is excited to really get that first gold in Olympics. And the athletes were all excited in the midst of problems. So ito po yung plano namin. As a matter of fact, we reserved two modest hotels, small one, for our advanced team, where we could accommodate these 20 or more athletes, no, and officials to acclimatize with the environment, not only for the weather, kasi pare-pareho lang yung weather ng Japan sa Pilipinas at that time, it's summer. So tuloy-tuloy po kami. But again, there are things that worries us. What will happen to vaccination? Will Japan require that? So we need the help of Senator Bongo, who is the chairman of sports at the Senate Committee, and Secretary Galvez to help us parang vaccine passport, no, for the delegations to Olympics. So, but there are problems there because katulad ngayon, the 6 qualified athletes are all right. No? They are not affected by the ECQ, but the athletes who are on training to qualify, almost 70 of them, are really disturbed by this ECQ. And we understand that the primary concern of the government is the safety of our athletes. But again, I was reminded of that managerial principles that you have to be alert of the environment and act positively. So ganun lang kami, Bill, sa Philippine Sports Commission. At saka we feel the value of collective collaboration. It's a collaboration of our partners, the sports associations and the Philippine Olympic Committee in this aspect.
Okay, Chairman, mapunta naman tayo sa Hanoi, sa SEA Games. What is the plan for the SEA Games? Obviously, we're not going to push to be the #1 team. So what is the strategy for Hanoi?
We usually support financially the Hanoi delegations. We're very thankful of the government that in spite of its vetoed budget, the President and Senator Bongo and Secretary Wendell Avisado of DBM committed to us to release the money for the Olympics and the SEA Games. So that's one big assurance. However, when the ECQ came around, we made an advisory to all sports associations to stop for a while until we are okay again. Then we will proceed the training for Hanoi. So training for Olympics, including those qualified already and those to qualify, and those SEA Games. So parang isang ano lang siya, isang activity lang siya. If we don't have the money, then we will be very, very critical in our funding. But if we have the money, since DBM will release the money, we will be quite liberal. We will leave it to the judgment to the Olympic Committee and the Sports Association. And in our collaborations, we have a very good collaborations with the sports associations. So napag-uusapan namin yung maximum number, minimum number. Kami ni POC President Bumble, nag-uusap din kami. He visited me here and endorsed the delegation, official delegation for Hanoi. That these are the maximum numbers. So we are supporting them with the allowances, plane tickets, and normal supports of the government to the sports associations and the Olympic Committee.
Hidilyn Diaz has been training in Malaysia since the global pandemic broke out. She only needs to show up at the Asian Weightlifting Championships to qualify for the Olympics, but she's not taking it lightly. Here's another Team Pilipinas exclusive.
2016 Rio Games, Hidilyn Diaz gave us that silver medal. She's now in Malaysia at makakasama natin siya. Champ, Hidilyn, magandang araw sa iyo dyan sa Malaysia and kumusta ka na?
Magandang araw din po, Sir Dennis. Ngayon, okay naman. We're preparing for Asian Championship. Alis kami ng April 10. So, nagtagal din kami dito sa Malaysia 14 months. Akala ko nung una, we supposed to prepare for Asian Championship last year. 2 months preparation before, kasi kailangan talaga isolation training para maganda yung performance. So, ayun, COVID happened.
Ano yung maganda nangyari na kahit na gano'n, naipit kayo dyan ng mas matagal sa plano nyo, pero if ever, ano yung mga blessing at maganda nangyari na may kinalaman naman dito sa preparation natin for the Olympics?
For me, siguro yung blessing doon na survive namin. Nandito pa rin. We're still like, nandun pa rin yung fire, nandun pa rin yung eagerness na to compete in Olympics. Yun yung blessing kasi syempre, nadagdagan ng ilang months yung preparation. Two, it's additional preparation for me na medyo nasa 5 to 7 kilos away pa ako sa China kasi siya yung first talagang rank 1. So, more time to prepare. Then 3, it's mas naging scientifically ang Team HD. Mas prepared kami ngayon. So, mas nag-communicate, mas ina-analyze nila ng maayos yung training ko. For me, yes. As an athlete, kahit anong mangyari sa external, sa mundo, may pandemic, as an athlete, wala kami excuse eh. We still have to continue what we're doing. We still have to, because we're representing our country. Siyempre, pag pumunta ka sa Olympics o sa laro na hindi ka prepared, you're representing the country tapos hindi ka prepared, nakakahiya yun. So, and also as an athlete, we always want to do our best, lalong-lalo na sa competition. So, hindi excuse ang pandemic at maghanap kami ng paraan para makapag-training, para maipagpatuloy pa rin namin ang pangarap natin, mga Pilipino.
Motivation, madaling isipin, no? Siyempre, after silver, motivate yourself by winning the gold, trying to win the gold. Pero other than that, meron pa ba ibang motivation? And mahirap din ba na galing ka sa isang ganong kalaking achievement, Olympic silver medal?
Kung makita mo si Senator Manny Pacquiao, legend na siya eh. Sunod-sunod yung pagpapanalo niya. Pero in my side, nung na-experience ko yun, after winning Olympics, silver, sabi ko, gusto ko ulit manalo si Games. Pero mahirap i-maintain and sustain yung ranking mo and yung status, lalong-lalo na sa sports. Kasi hindi ka naman parating nasa taas eh. Eventually, bababa ka talaga. So yun yung mahirap. Then yung motivation, also mahirap. Kasi syempre, nanalo ka na eh. Diba? Nanalo ka na ng silver medal sa Olympics. Bakit ka pa maghirap, magte-training for Tokyo? Syempre, after silver, aim is for gold. Siguro madali na, pero mahirap siya na as an athlete na i-maintain and i-sustain yung status. At lalong-lalo na medyo tumatanda na ako. So, good thing, nagawa ko yun. Na-maintain and na-sustain ko yung status ko because may mga taong nasa likod ko. There's company and the government believe in me.
From the time na nag-start yung pandemic, hanggang sa ngayon, even up to now, meron pa rin mga nagsasabi na, alabo yan, hindi matutuloy Olympics, Yun ba, paano mo nilalabanan niya? I'm sure it's at the back of your mind na nandyan ka. Nagpe-prepare ka, pero kahit na nababasa mo, tuloy. Meron pa rin magsasabi, hindi, malabo yan, may pandemic pa, gano'n.
Aminin ko, last year, gumuho mundo ko. Siyempre, sabi ko, hindi, okay lang yan, ma-postpone ng Olympics. Pero nung nakita ko na postpone ng Olympics, parang gumuhong mundo ko. So, paano na to? Pero buti na lang may date na for 2021. Pero yun nga, last January, talagang umiiyak ako. Kasi talagang nandun na yung anxiety. Bakit ako mag-sacrifice, binibigay ko lahat, tapos hindi naman to sigurado eh. Pero siguro yung faith ko kay God. Tapos, ayun nga, sabi ko sa sarili ko na, bakit ako mag-give up? Malapit na eh. Malapit na tayo dun sa dream. Tapos mag-give up ako. Sayang. Then, good thing nga, may nilalabas ko yung sama ng loob. Alam mo yung umiiyak ako. Tapos may kinakausap ako. Medyo, syempre as an athlete, tapos elite athlete, na representing Philippines sa Olympics, yun yung nilulook forward namin eh. Yun yung goal namin. Tapos biglang na-postpone. Tapos ngayon di namin alam. Pero good thing ngayon, parang nakikita ko na medyo may kasiguraduhan na. Kasi may torch relay na. So parang, okay. Ayun, medyo may pag-asa na. Tapos maglalaro na ako next month. So parang nagkakaroon na ako ng mas klarong direksyon. Pero may mga time din talaga nagda-doubt talaga ako. May mga time na parang, paano kaya kung hindi ako ready dito? Paano kaya 1 year na akong walang laro? So may mga time na gano'n. Hindi ko masabi na malalampasan ko yun, pero grateful ako na nalalampasan ko yung pag-breakdown kasi may tao akong kinakausap, yung sports psychologist, tapos yung sports nutritionist din, na sinasabi ko yung ganito ako medyo malungkot. Ayun. May 5 na akong Olympic qualifying. Yung ranking ko, nasa top 5 na ako. Yung 4 doon is China. So, para maging 6, kailangan kong maglaro sa Asian Championship. Kasi the whole year kaming walang laro. So, kailangan ng 6 na laro. Tapos, ayun, nakita ko naman na kasi yung European tumuloy sila this week. So, alam kong matutuloy yung Asian Championship. So, kailangan ko lang kunin ang body weight ko. Then, siguro total. No pressure sa medal, pero gagawin kong lahat. Kasi for me, it's a tune-up towards Tokyo 2020. I have to train my mind to do my best. Lalong-lalo na doon sa international platform. Para ma-imagine ko, pagdating sa Olympics, nandun na.
Yung division mo, nawala na. Yung division above you nung Olympics, ibinaba, kumbaga gitna. Ano ba to? Mas favorable ba sa ito pagdating dito sa Tokyo?
Para sa akin, mas pabor. Kasi nung 53 ako, sa totoo lang, nagka-injury ako. Kasi yung body weight ko is 58, regular body weight ko. Pag hindi ako nag-lose weight, hanggang ngayon, 58 ako. Pero kung mag-lose ako 53, syempre, di ba, sobrang prone ako sa injury, prone ako sa, mabubuang ka talaga. 5 kilos dropping weight, tapos gusto mo mag-exert ng effort talaga sa competition, mahirap yun. Mahirap yun. Good thing, na bago, naging 55. Mas advantage yun sa akin. So, which is, kailangan ko lang mag-drop ng 3 kilos. Then, yung lakas ko, nandun na. Medyo nandun na. Tapos, kailangan ko lang na yung confident talaga.
To familiarize ang mga fans mo, anong event itong sasalihan mo? Unang-una na event simula na nangyari itong pandemic.
After 14 months, ang lalaruin ko ay ang Asian Weightlifting Championship sa Uzbekistan. Ang laro ko is April 18. So ito ang magiging 6th competition ko, last competition. Ang hiningi ko po yung prayers nyo for our safety kasi alam nyo na, pandemic. At pupunta kami doon sa Uzbekistan, medyo mahaba-habang biyahe. So include us in your prayers. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Champ Olympian Hidilyn Diaz. Again, ako po si Dennis Principe para sa Team Pilipinas.
Many people do not know the magnitude of the hurdles that the Philippine Sports Commission has had to face to sustain over 1,000 national athletes for over a year when the world shut down. Now, as the pandemic threat level has risen again, how will the government's lead sports agency meet this Herculean challenge?
Inaprubahan po ng ating presidente ang rekomendasyon ng inyong IATF na ilagay muli sa Enhanced Community Quarantine o ECQ ang National Capital Region, Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna at Rizal o ang tinatawag nating Greater Manila Area.
We are just really playing it by ear. We're led by COVID. Saan tayo papunta sa COVID, no? That's the irony of it. Tigil lahat ng grassroots programs namin. We had to do everything via virtual meetings, Zoom meetings, and all of that, no? Yun lang ang naging advantage then. We were able to talk to a lot of people via Zoom, via the internet. The whole year of 2020, we had several batches of coaching certification programs, and it's still ongoing right now. And even the National Sports Summit is in the internet also by Zoom, no, virtual. And maraming nakasali, no? Didn't have to go to a place to hold conferences and all that, no? But yeah, it was basically pinahirapan tayo ng COVID up to now, Bill. In the beginning, we were worried dahil yung March, April, May, June of last year, talagang napakababa ng baka siguro wala pang 10% sa nabigay ng PAGCOR noong February, no, in those months, no. So pinagmitingan namin sa finance department namin, so kaya dinicide namin, if you remember, na kalahati lang muna ang ibibigay sa mga atleta pag bumalik na yung sigla ng PAGCOR. Ibabalik din namin, which we were able to do sometime December, na nabuo din yung allowances ng mga athletes and coaches for the whole year of 2020 towards December, no? So yeah, it never came to our tulong na rin natin kung ang ibang nating mga kababayan na pagbigyan ng gobyerno din ng ayuda. Tiningnan na lang namin, inisip na lang namin na ayuda na rin yun sa paghihirap ng mga atleta natin. So tinuloy natin yung Vienna, Yulo, yung mga swimmers natin although they are still trying to qualify, most of them are in the States, no? At some are here. Si Hidilyn is continuing her training sa Malaysia and papunta rin siya sa Uzbekistan, no? To join the last qualifying tournament, although I believe his mere participation there would qualify her already, no? Hindi na siya kailangan manalo doon. So, yung iba, nandito, the story was kanya-kanyang ensayo sila sa mga bahay-bahay nila. In fact, there were several athletes that were stranded here, na-stranded doon sa Ultra, sa Phil Sports, kaya pinauwi din namin lahat yun sa mga probinsya muna.
Kung yung ibang bansa at ibang mga kilalang atleta, parang ayaw na pumunta sa Olympics, no? Parang natatakot sila, yung iba patid-patid yung training. Sa atin, sa tingin mo ba ito yung pinakamagandang pagkakataon na natin para maka-gold medal at tutuloy-tuloy tayo sa Olympics?
Yes, we are preparing. All systems are go as far as our preparation is concerned. No? We have booked a place there in Japan for the staff and for probably the athletes also. It's true. Kung pala rin tayo, it's malaki ang chances talaga natin na maraming mag-medal sa atin mga atleta ngayon, no? We're not hoping that the other athletes will not come, but looks like some might not really go, no? But tuloy lang ang ensayo natin ng mga atleta natin.
What were the contributing factors, Commissioner, na parang ang dami nating athletes na papasok sa Olympics ngayon?
Well, I guess the exposure that we're given to them the past 3-4 years, no? Especially in starting 2017 in Kuala Lumpur, 2018 Asian Games, and then 2019 SEA Games again. The whole year of towards the end of 2018 and the whole year of 2019 before the SEA Games, ang dami nating atleta, almost all of them traveled to compete at the highest level of competitions, no? So I guess nahatak yung ano nila, yung mga abilidad nila, no? Nakapag-ensayo ng tama, nagkaroon ng competition, naka-training ng husto talaga. So maraming gumaling step up na mga atleta natin. 2 months ago, we were hoping that, in fact, we wrote the IATF if we could get back the 3 facilities, Rizal, Memorial, and Field Sports. We're asking the permission of IATF if we can use them to start our athletes train in this month, April. But the cases went up, so mukhang malabo na yung magagamit natin yon in the next few months, several months, no? So we'll just have to make do, look for other venues. The NSAs have to step up, no? They have to step up, look for their venues to hold their bubbles, in as much as we need to train in a bubble type of training because of the cases of COVID, no? Yung health ng atleta has to take priority. Sana mapabakunahan na sila at the earliest, no?
Commissioner, given that nag-ECQ tayo ulit, do you foresee this situation lasting much longer, and how will it change the way the PSC and the athletes will have to work together para tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pagtagumpay na atleta natin?
We're really dependent sa kung anong mangyayari, Bill, sa pandemic, no? Sa COVID, kung titigilan ba tayo niya or hindi, no? So we will cross the bridge when we get there, when we see coming down. Hopefully marami nang mabakunahan at bumaba na yung cases natin. Then we'll have to plan again. We'll going back to the drawing boards, ika nga, no?
When Team Pilipinas continues.
They regarded at that time the Asians, just average, or to say the most.
For over 50 years, Eugene Torre has blazed the trail for chess players in the Philippines and Asia. It all started very early for him in a family of very competitive players.
When I was very young, my brothers were much stronger than me. But it helped me a lot that I had strong, brothers who were playing strong chess because I had this needed practice. Because during that time, there were no tournaments, hardly. And also, chess clubs, you have to go to the chess club for practice. As a matter of fact, I think before I reached the 10 years old, I even played in the National Junior Championship in 1960. And I think I was only 9 years old, going 10. And but unfortunately, the next 7 or 8 years, there were no longer national junior. So I had no tournaments for the longest time after that. Now it's normal to see so young players playing in tournaments, but not before. That was unusual. The tournaments here are very rare, and of course, the level of tournaments are not, it's different when there is international players. So the first opportunity I had was in 1969 when I became national junior champion, because after 1960, only in 1969 was it resumed. The National Junior Championship, and I won it, and I won the right to represent the Philippines. And even at the time, I had to really, seek for support, almost begging for support with the help of my family, because the event was in Sweden, very expensive, and chess was not part of the national sport. So, the chess lovers, they were the one who helped me to be able to compete in 1969 World Junior, where Anatoly Karpov also, for the first time, played in that junior. So that was the first time I played with Karpov. Although I did not qualify in the A group, it was Karpov who qualified. In the B group, I won the B group. And the players in the B group were also quite strong. They regarded at that time the Asians, average, or to say the most, at that time. Look, at the time, China was not active. Middle East countries were not active. So actually in Asia, it was the Philippines that was really much involved, and and it helped a lot because many of our chess aficionados or chess lovers were really good in promoting chess, like Mr. Campomanes, and even before that, Mr. Lontok, many-time champion of the Philippines. And then we had many chess lovers, that somehow helped in consolidating the interest of chess in the country.
After becoming Asia's first Grandmaster, Eugene became very good friends with American champion Bobby Fischer, one of the greatest but most misunderstood players in history.
He liked my personality, but I think the first impression of Bobby, of me, was that I was kind of a joke, because something like, I think he said that I did not look like a chess player, I looked more like a band player, a member of the band, because I had long hair. Because what happened was I got used to long hair because I campaigned in Europe for my Grandmaster title from 72 to 73. After the Olympiad, it's not practical to have a haircut. Because in Europe, haircut was very expensive. And anyway, it was the thing, it was the thing to have long hair. I remember the most, of course, those victories I had with the world champions. Those were really world champions, or former world champions, or future world champions. But of course, the one that was really I treasured much were my victories against Karpov 2 times, because he was then the champion.
The global pandemic has caused a renaissance in chess, with increased participation in online tournaments and a 500% increase in sales in chess boards in the Philippines.
Actually, it had become even more popular than before COVID. Yeah, because we are forced to hold tournaments online. Even the World Chess Federation, the Asian Chess Federation, the official competition, they hold it online. And we even have more tournaments now than before the COVID, but mostly online tournaments. And the reason is it's very inexpensive now to organize tournaments because you don't have to buy tickets to travel. So no more hotel. These are the expenses that sometimes become a problem to an organizer.
Though he's seen it all and done it all, it is satisfying to know that Eugene Torre still won't be walking into the sunset anytime soon.
Well, what I want to see, I'm seeing now that many of our young players are getting involved. It's so easy to entice them to play chess because also because of COVID. There is so much interest, among our young players. What I'd like to see is to hopefully we can discover players who are really, like Wesley Saw, with exceptional talents, because it's not so easy to find one, of this extraordinary talent and love for chess and dedication. Yung parang, maski sa pagtulog mo, napapanaginipan mo. Yung ganon.
That's this week's episode of Team Pilipinas. Join us every Saturday at 4 p.m. only here on People's Television. Para sa Bayan. And always remember, we're all on the same team. Stay safe, everyone. See you next week.